Okay, hi. It is mildly intimidating to explain everything. I have not thought anything through, but I will try my best. Hi. Okay, and I've thought what I'm gonna start with through. So basically, the map starts you off with like the two main tech things that will be used. Like it's the first two obstacles. Basically, the way a dream smuggle works is when you dash, you get a bunch of frames of dash attack, which is dash attack is what determines if you can enter a dream block or not. And grabbing a holdable doesn't cancel this, so it's all a dream smuggle is entering a dream block while you still have dash attack going. It's not the most lenient thing ever, and you can't do down smuggles because grabbing Theo resets your velocity and or your speed, and there's no way to go down that much. And yeah. Secondly, we have holding Theo without really holding him. There's a lot of things you call it. You could call it freeze frame on grab, but you don't necessarily need to. Uh, it's also just like I don't know. I don't know what you should call it. But basically, uh, it's just when you hit a bumper, it puts you into the launch state, and launch state, as far as I'm aware, doesn't like check if you're holding something. I mean, that's probably I could be saying stuff slightly wrong, but basically, she's holding this in quotes. She's like fake holding it, and in launch state. If you press grab, that will turn her to normal state and everything will be normal again. But if you don't do that, then as long as launch state lasts, you can just act it. You just act like you don't have Theo. So, for example, you can dash like this, and you usually can't do that. Um, and launch state ends when the total like component of your speed is less than 220. So by that I mean like both horizontal and vertical combined, like not added, but the diagonal. It does that. Yeah. So basically here, I think you can bumper boost and this becomes a buffer, but I didn't like it because that was awkward. I don't know. Also, worth noting, I guess I just didn't mention this at all. You don't like hold grab here. You release grab. That's the hold tag. And then Madeline doesn't do a regrab animation. Uh, the timing to release grab is usually in the freeze frames of the bumper, so a 6F. But here, for example, there's the cooldown where you can't throw Theo if you release grab. So you can just release grab whenever, and it's fine. So I'm not holding grab now. I like barely even press grab. And that works. And this this will be fun. Recovering from COVID. Fuck. This is an obstacle. Believe it or not. There's a little invisible jump through here. You want to make sure you're not holding jump, because if you slow fall, you'll throw Theo over the wall, and that's bad. Basically, the way I did this is, well, you hold grab, and then you get a regrab, and then during the freeze frames, I press right. And that forces Madeline to turn right. And then during the regrab animation, I release grab. I release right. So, and grab apparently, because the third's buffered. So it's kind of like a weird thing. And if I'm super far left like this, what you gotta do is, I think, hold on. I don't think I did this too well. If you're like too far left, you have to like change the timing of something. Honestly, I can't think of it right now. I'm sorry. Like Cause you can, the death I had before this, does it show? Yeah, I didn't hit the bumper. Hold on. Let's show you. This death happens if you're too far left and you don't do anything. What the fuck? Right, it's sped up. Okay, that's kind of scuffed. But I don't hit the bumper here, and that's bad. I think you want to delay the dash if this happens. I'm not too certain. I don't remember what I did. Okay, it's kind of weird to explain. But you know. Okay. So for this next part, this is another... I think this one you have to time the grab release and freeze frames, because yeah. So this fall, by the way, it's worth noting, your max speed with Theo is not the normal 91.5 pixels per frame, it's like 73 or something. So you go slower. So this is a silly fall. Basically, this input, this bumper hit is really fucking hard. Like, it's really precise. You can skip it. Like, I think if you look at, like, Bright Silver 1, you'll see a skip. I honestly don't even know the skip. I didn't try it. But I just learned about where to hit this. I did it good here. And so if you hit it on the higher end of things that work, you want to dash sooner so that you have gone up less here. And if you hit it lower, you want to dash like later. And I bumper boost so that the spinner here is less likely, it's less evil, and you down dash. Yeah? I don't know. Then here, you don't want to hit this really high because this downright could be awkward. If you do that, you don't want to do that. But it's fine. Just like let the launch state ending automatically throw Theo. You literally don't have to like do anything. You can release right to go more vertically to get in the dream block better. And you probably want to climb up a bit here too. Like you, cause you, okay, I'm kind of, I think I'm not thinking too well, but I hope I'm explaining things in a maybe chaotic way. You can be too low here and like collide with this wall, so you want to climb up to not do that, but you don't want to climb up too high because the higher you are, the harder this hyper bunny hop is. Like it's like probably a 3F if you're in a good position, I think. And yeah, the way these work, actually, I'll explain more tech. Let's explain like every tech. If you are... Actually, okay, no, yeah. So you can dream grab with Theo after smuggle, and that makes you hold a wall. And holding a wall is interesting because you can dash in climb state. It doesn't matter if you're holding Theo or not, which is unusual. Which means that if you grab a wall, then you're able to hyper during the coyote frames you get from the dream block. So that's what this is. Then you do a really small hyper here. And these are buffer jumps. You just want to press jump before... Yeah, you know. And this... It's actually funny. If I notice I'm like too far left, I'll hit this like more than once. Or do I? I don't really think that happens. The more likely thing is if I notice I'm too far right, I release right here earlier. I think I did it here. So that I hit this more in the middle, so that this works in one left press. It's just a little speed strat, this unnecessary. And then here's what I was talking about earlier. You can press grab after fake holding Theo to start holding him in normal state. And yeah. Okay. I don't know. I need to... I'll try my best. Yeah. So, pretty much every transition, no, literally every transition, I throw Theo into, so Theo is in just a consistent and helpful place. And here the lineup is you walk in, go neutral, because screen transitions normalize like everything. Make sure to reach max speed before you touch the screen transition though, 90. And then right dash, down left, down dash, and then instant super lines you up in the middle pixel here. If I messed up this strat, I would just automatically like manually jump. Those are different words. I would just manually jump into the middle pixel, and it's fine and fast. The setup is just for convenience. And now there are like multiple things you can do for these. What I did was at the peak of my arc, I drop Theo and then dash down and then buffer another down dash and then just hold grab and then go. But you can do like different things. For example, like you can wait until you're on the way down and then just drop Theo and then buffer a down dash. I didn't try that much and I didn't like it. I prefer my strat because it's just all buffers. And a side note about buffering dashes immediately out of dropping or throwing Theo, you want to press dash before you release grab so that you guarantee you buffer it. Like, for some reason, Noboard is like less delayed than Celeste on my capture here, so it's gonna be a bit off in the gameplay. But notice how I press dash and then next frame I'm still holding grab. It's like 2 frames after pressing dash I release grab. This is guaranteed to buffer the dash. That's pretty much what you wanna. That's like the input you wanna be doing whenever any of those comes up. And yeah, this isn't too precise. Here's another example of that actually. You can see I press dash and then release grab. That is how you want to do those. Because I think even if you're like 1 frame late, then you become like unable to grab Theo instantly. It's pretty tight, but it's buffer, so. Yeah, this is just an upright regrab wall jump. If you are low here, and don't think you will make it over in 3 climb jumps, you can do 1 Theo climb jump here, and then a wall jump, like here, between these walls. And then just 2 more climb jumps. Yeah, you can see here, I had to make sure I actually did it. I did fast Theo climbs, where you don't grab the wall before going. This is just for speed and fun. It doesn't have any benefit really. And also it does have a downside. For example, if you try to do that like too high here, you will wall kick off of the right wall and you could go into spinners, and that's not the best. So you gotta be careful with the speed grading. But I was. And so here's the thing, you can't hold Theo when you're flashing red, usually. So you do 4 climb jumps here, right? Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoa. That makes you flash red. How are you gonna grab Theo after the 4th climb jump? Well, this game has leniency. Like wall boosts, if you do a neutral climb jump, specifically neutral, not towards the wall, that's a different thing. If you do a neutral climb jump, then in like the next 11 frames or whatever, you can turn around and you get your stamina back and a little boost. Well, it turns out, the wall boost timer does more than that. As far as I'm aware, the game kind of like just acts as if you haven't consumed stamina if you do that until wall boost timer is up. So I do a neutral climb jump here, and despite having 0 stamina, I'm able to grab Theo because the game basically treats it as if I had 27.5 for 11 frames. So yeah, basically, in short, if you don't care about the technical nuances, just neutral climb jump and you're good. This is lining up here, doing a release. You don't need to do any grab presses here, just dash. The reason you don't need to do any grab presses is because you never enter normal state. You're in launch state here, then you go to dash state, and then to launch state again. And then that means you're fine. Up left demo here, demo makes it easier. Hold down right, do a crouch jump, dropping Theo, and slowing your momentum so that this right dash is easier. And now, what I did here is, you want to be on the bottom pixel of this dream block, but that's not really like it. You want to be at the bottom quarter pixel of the dream block, like as far down as you can go, because that makes you... Because Theo's hitbox here is 1 pixel below this dream block, so you need to fall a pixel, basically. And doing that takes varying amounts of time depending on your subpixel. I aimed for a low subpixel here, so that you can see that I'm out of the dream block here, and then 2 frames later I move down a pixel and can already grab Theo. But if I was at the top of the pixel, that wouldn't have happened. And it's just lenient. It makes it way more lenient. The way I do that is I get to any one of the bottom pixels. I think the visual cue is I hide a pixel of her foot. And then I 1F tap... Oh, that's the search bar. I 1F tap up into a pixel. And then that guarantees me to be on the bottom 0.25 of it. And hypothetically, you could mess this up and have wrong subpixels. But it really doesn't matter. All you do in that case is just go again. Like if you do this and then do the right dash and try to smuggle and don't grab Theo, just do it again. It's really not that important. And yeah, okay, this part's hard. This part is difficult. This is button jumps, except really mean and awkward button jumps. I guess, like, it's just kind of over time I got the muscle memory for it down. But, you kind of want to do, like, a bigger jump on the first hyper, and then a smaller jump off of this button. And it's awkward, too. These button jumps are awkward, because when you have low vertical speed, like, for example, here, the earlier you press jump, the more you'll slow fall. And that affects, like, where on the button you'll hit it, or if you'll hit it in time at all. Like, you might, like... Yeah, you might, like, take an extra frame to hit a button, and then the buffer won't go through because of that extra frame, for example. So it's, like, meaner than it seems. And it seems mean. But yeah, do that. Do a quick climb jump here. And all is well in the world. There's like cheese here, I think, where you do like a dream double jump, and then I don't know. I don't know much cheese. I kind of found my strats and then stuck with my strats because I'm a little bit stubborn, right? Also, like, it works. And something worth noting is I guess for Theo climbs in general, the way I do it is, so what you want to do, kinda, is you're releasing grab, and then you are pressing grab again, and then pressing jump. So, usually the way I do it is, it's kind of like a motion thing, like, I guess I can sort of, wrong video. Did I minimize it? Did I close it? I might be stupid. Hold on. Abaddon gameplay. If you look at these, so on my hand here, pinky is grab and index is jump. So when I do inputs to do a climb jump, I release jump, you can see my index finger going up, and then I release grab, sort of in one motion, and then I very quickly repress them, also in one motion. So it's kind of just like you raise your hand up, releasing grab, releasing jump and then grab, and then press it back down, pressing grab and then jump. So, at least for me, that's how I did it. For the ones in abaddon, at least when I was first clearing, for the ones in abaddon, I had to pay special attention to like physically try to do that motion as fast as I could, and then only then did it work. Like if I actually push myself. But after enough time playing this map, it became so natural that I didn't really have to try. But it's a weird thing to get used to doing this fast. Just lift up and put back down your hand, sorta, is how I did it. And then another thing here, you do want to be in the middle pixel. I think it's fun to try and land on the middle pixel instantly. I'm able to do that like most of the time, I think. I did it here. It's nice. And another one of those, and then that's the room. I think this is funny, because here's the thing. I'm 2 rooms into this, and this is half as long as the GMHS explanation, I think. That's awesome. It should probably go faster, at least during the middle portion, though. Yeah. Zigzag starts off with a dream grab, and now we have, actually, another tech. This is... You know how grabbing Theo doesn't cancel dash attack? Hitting a bumper also doesn't cancel dash attack. So what happens here is that I right dash, giving me dash attack and the dash direction of right. Right? And then I hit the bumper, and then I collide with the dream block. And then the game is like, okay, Madeline has collided with a dream block and has dash attack to the right. So it acts as if she entered the dream block by dashing right into it, which is what happens here. Side note, you are forced to stay in a dream block for 6 frames. That's just a hard-coded value. Yeah. So basically the inputs for this is there's really no rush, but I do it fast. You grab, and then you can demo. The thing that demoing does is you are crouched and cannot grab Thea. It's either I think it's because you're crouched, but it could also be that Thea's hitbox is just above you. But that means you don't have to time a grab release or anything. Like if I didn't demo, I would have to release grab before I hit the bumper and then repress it during the dream dash state. And that would suck. That's just an extra input for no reason. So demo, and then you don't have to do that. And then this lines up with just entering the dream block and just doing a full jump and holding left. It is a full neutral jump, though. Like, you do the jump, and then you start holding left whenever. General thing about Celeste's movement. Holding backwards against the direction you're going and holding neutral is one and the same, unless your speed is about to loop over. So, like, you see I pressed left, like, now. I could press left now on this frame, and it would have the same trajectory. That's how the game works. So basically, this is very lenient. Just demo into it, do a jump, neutral jump, hold left. Lines you up perfectly for this hit. This is a drill section where you want to just dash into the dream blocks and hold left to grab the wall and keep doing that. You do need to hold left out of the vertical 1-2, which is interesting. Yeah, do that. Now here's actually a different thing. I don't demo here because you probably could demo, but I don't demo because you want to release grab and throw Theo anyways. So it's dash into the bumper. This one there is time pressure. You have to do this fast, by the way, because of this block will crumble. Yeah, do that. Buffer right jump and buffer to throw. And then you kind of want to... Okay. So after this whole sequence of dream blocks, you can actually end up at, like, quite different heights on this block. Like, if you're really low, this smuggle can be tight. So I got into the habit of doing this smuggle, like, not late, like, pretty early. Because sometimes you might be really low and have to do that. this is a wall bounce with Theo, so you're grabbing the wall so you can dash. You just get like 80 lift boost up because of the conveyor. Did I say something? Conveyor. And then you can do a lift boosted wall bounce, which just gives you hella vertical speed. And yeah, you do that, and then do another one of these up diagonal smuggle. Dream double jump. This is like the first dream double jump, right? I will now explain how dream blocks work. So dream blocks, they have freeze frames when you exit them. Specifically, the freeze frames happen here. You can see I'm pressing the go forward frames button, but the game's staying stationary. So there are freeze frames there, but you can jump on this frame. It's like a leniency thing. But if you jump on this frame, which is a full 5-frame buffer, of course. So you buffer this, then the dream block still gives you coyote, and then you can jump again after the freeze frames end. And that's how dream double jumps work. The reason you dream double jump here is so you can get 2 +40s rightward, so you can slow down. But dream double jumps have a ton of uses. So yeah, also this like is hard, by the way. I just want to mention, like getting enough height on this, I barely did. I was pretty low here. Getting enough height on this without like touching this block and losing dash attack is really hard. It's a tight input. And then dream double jump here, neutral drop, and upright regrab. And then here, this is a thing. This is a dream hyper with Theo, but it's slightly different. It's not as different as it can be, which you'll see next screen. But basically, you just want to not be holding grab so that you auto throw Theo, and then you can do a dream hyper, and then re-grab Theo. So that's all the inputs are here. You don't do a dream double jump or anything. Out of up diagonals, when you do a Theo dream hyper like this, you can just throw Theo and hyper, and everything's good. I will go more in depth about why I'm specifying that later, if you don't know. And then here, bumper hit up left grab. I did a little lining up with this yellow line. I just lined up Madeline's bottom like a little bit with it. I didn't do like an exact pixel lineup, but I probably ended up on the same pixel most of the time. And then visual cue to upright demo here is this little circle being fully covered by the dream block is when I did an upright demo. This dash is pretty actually tight. Like, it's not easy. Not free. Then left. Then, this is kind of just a thing. I didn't have any visual cues. I just did it. This is down right, and then you jump up left smuggle. Because of dash attack, these spikes don't, like, kill you. So you're chill. And then this is the thing again. You want a demo, so you can hold grab throughout the entire thing. And then jump, and then yeah. So, firstly, to start this room, moon block cycle is important. I do a dash upon entering, and then that makes it good if I hold right. So basically, this is that at the end of room 4, except out of a sideways dash. Now the reason this is different is because you're not moving up, so you are lower. And what this means for the trout population is that if you don't do anything special, if you try to do what you did on the previous room, you would not be able to grab Theo, because Theo would be too high. The solution for that is to do a jump. You can see here, I jump. So you do a jump, and then after the freeze frames, you get Coyote, and you do a hyper. So it's a dream double jump, dream hyper. And it's really hard to get used to. Like, doing this motion was so hard first playthrough, but it becomes really consistent, I promise. Um, some general advice is like the frame you can jump out of a dream block before the freeze frames, it is, at least for me, earlier than I think. I press down jump like early, so that, yeah. So I press jump early, and then if it goes through, I just really focus on doing hyper inputs in order. You do dash, jump, grab. So like, you can see demo, or I guess grab, jump. I guess it doesn't matter. But what you don't want to do is press grab too soon, because if you do that, you will never throw Theo, and that's bad. That's like basically just mistiming it. That's a common way to fail. If you like never throw Theo, that's because you did it too early. And you never released grab. So yeah, I press jump, and then I do hyper inputs and grab Theo. And then you want to release jump, and then this is set up. So, I don't know how, like, helpful this is. There's one of those out of a down diagonal here. You can see that, like, I press jump with my thumb. It's not the best camera angle, is it? But I do that, and then I do hyper, like, a bit after. Yeah, okay. So, remember when I was talking about earlier with climbing being, like, a single hand motion? This is, like, inverting that. So what you want to do is you neutral drop Theo, and then instead of pressing grab and then jump, you press jump and then grab. So, like, I just, like, you press the buttons in a different order, and then you go back to doing it in the same order. People probably think about Theo climbs differently than me. I don't know. Do whatever works for you, but I just think this is a cool motion, really. Really cool part. And also, what you're doing here, you can't neutral in this map. If you do any wall jump, you get like 10 or whatever frames of force move L/R away from the wall. But that still ticks down during pickup animation. So, if you see after I grab Theo, I'm able to face right immediately. That's because the force move counter went down during the grab. It's cool. And what I do here is I do 4 slow Theo regrabs, making sure to bonk my head and do a full jump with all slow fall without doing any fast fall. What this does is not only moonblock cycle manip by doing them slow, but it makes your height a very consistent position so that this always works from a buffer. And here is like one of the first major cheat strats in the run. I used to not actually do this, but then intended stopped working one day. Just because, like, I don't know, I got worse at it. I learned bad muscle memory. But I found insane cheese. Basically, everything's consistent here. Normally, if you're doing a moon boost like this, you don't want to buffer jump because that risks doing a wall jump off of the wall. And that would be bad because, yeah, you know? But here's the thing. Your position's consistent here. You are guaranteed to not have that be an issue. And in fact, my strat here was to buffer jump. I guess I failed it by a frame, but it's fine. My strat here was to buffer jump so that this lines up. So you can buffer that moon boost, and in fact you want to. Which, by the way, it's a silly input because you need to start pressing grab before you jump. So I think you just want to press grab before you jump so that you don't throw Theo when you enter normal state when the dash ends. And then buffer up dash, throw Theo left. I did a right dash about here, like with the blue line in the background is sort of what I was going off of. And up dash and then late regrab. Now, if you're not high enough here, you can try again by falling back down, doing an up right, up dash, throw it left, and then repeat. But that messes up the moonblock cycle later. I think if you do one stall, like if you retry it one time, then you want to do one bounce off the next bumper instead of 4. If you retry it multiple times, honestly, I don't know what you do. I know that I just kind of like envisioned the moonblock cycle in my head and could usually time it right, but maybe it's worth actually learning. But yeah, you want to make sure you're high here because you can like hit this wall at the bottom and lose your dash attack. It's like tighter than it looks. And yeah, face left and then buffer left dash, and then you want to face right during the dream block, which is a thing you can do and do multiple times in this map. And you just buffer throw and buffer up dash, and that lines you up perfectly. Although this grab is weird, because here's the thing. Look at this block. This block, Theo bunks on the top of this block. And that makes Theo's height lower than you think. I don't know what this grab is. I genuinely don't know what this input is. All I know is that what I do hits it most of the time. Like, I don't even know what I'm doing. I think I don't buffer grab every time, but can if you're at a certain height. I'm not too certain. Yeah, this is like another thing, like the room 2 one. You want to turn left during the bumper freeze frames, release left during the pickup animation, and then throw and then regrab. And then what I did here to stall is 4 bounces off of the bumper. Specifically, it's 4 bounces like after being done with everything. So like for example, if you grab Theo low, you'll hit the bumper, but I don't count that as a bumper hit. Like see here, I do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then throw Theo. I would do like if I was like lower here and I grab Theo here and I hit the bumper, I still do 4 bounces. That's the moonblock timing I use. So it's 4 bounces, like 4 bounces after you're past the bumper, sort of, if that makes sense. Again, I do the facing right thing in bumper freeze frames to not move too far right. Though it's not that important. Just, yeah. Then 4 bounces after a regrab here, because otherwise your height will be wrong. I buffer throw Theo, land here, and then you do a right dash and then grab the crystal and then press grab and jump. So interesting thing about this, by the way, is that you don't automatically slow fall with Theo most of the time. It's like weird. Normally you automatically slow fall after a dash, but that's only applied like a bit of frames into the dash. I don't exactly remember. Basically, in a lot of cases you want to hold jump even if you dash into Theo because it gives you more distance. So I do that here. I press dash and then I press grab and jump to slow fall into this. And this is a buffer dash. This is a bumper clip while holding Theo, which is you just buffer dash and then you press grab during the dash. These come up later too. There's plenty of these. You need to time the grab release with the bumper appearing, which surprisingly worked quite well for me. Then with a bumper boost, this up dash is a buffer. This left dash is also a buffer. And something I struggled with is I often released grab here too late because I got thrown off by the sprite being smaller here. So this is an input I had to pay special attention to release grab earlier, and then it works. Then what I do is not intended, just bumper boost and let transition into normal state, throw Theo. Theo snaps down because he's in a solid, and you throw him right, and he ends up in the perfect position. It's funny. Then super off of this, bumper boost. And this is a corner boost. This is a corner boost block. What a corner boost block does is it makes it always able to give plus 40. Like, if you collide with a wall during a dash, you won't get speed because you won't get speed if you do a climb jump towards it, because you already have retained, and it won't modify retained. But what a corner boost block does is it guarantees that never happens if you buffer jump. So yeah, do that. And I don't do a full jump here. I think the height varies. I think I usually do a 12F jump. 12 to 17F jump press results in the same thing, because there are two parts to a jump: the jump timer and the slow fall. Jump timer is the time you stay at negative 105 Y velocity, which is 12 frames, and then there's slow fall between negative 40 and 40 Y speed, where holding jump halves your gravity. But between negative 105 and negative 40 speed, there's no difference if you're holding jump or not. So basically, that means that a 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17F jump press all have the exact same result. And that's generally about the height I did here. You can go lower. I think I often did go lower. And yeah, slide down, do a full jump off the bottom, and time this moon boost. Which, this one you actually don't want to buffer jump for. And then do a Gultra, and then, yeah, then you grab the, This is a hard input, for sure. Like, if you miss the moon boost, you just die. Yeah. Ooh, funny room. Okay, so firstly, yeah, demo, and then you want to do a neutral jump here. Which, again, when you buffer jump out of dream blocks like this, the jump input happens before freeze frames. Like, you're going for that early timing. You can see here, I jump, and then there's the freeze frames. So, like, pretty much all cases, the buffer happens. That's what a buffer jump out of a dream block is in this map. And here, you want to make sure you wait long enough so that you are past this wall, so that when you do a throw and then up dash, you don't corner correct, and you... I actually have Physics Inspector for this. I have the winning run open. You can see, I do an up dash like here, so I'm really close to the spring. That's fascinating subpixels. And I end up high here. If I did an up dash like here, then I would corner correct and be on the bottom pixel, which is bad. That gets less height and is bad. And yeah, so like do that. You can hypothetically be too far right there, but not really. You'd kind of have to try to do that. Do that, do a throw and then regrab, like, pretty much everywhere here. You can buffer it. I don't think I buffered it, but you can buffer it. And this is funny. So, yeah, neutral drop, regrab, which I think has slow fall, which I don't understand because that doesn't track. I don't know. Yeah, do that. Do a buffer dash, and here's the thing. This is an odd thing because this is cheese. You want to release right so that you don't bumper boost, and then do a Theo regrab, and then release grab so that you buffer through Theo. What this does is Theo is low enough so that he doesn't go over this wall, and the neutral bumper hit and transition to normal state and Theo throw slows you down enough so that you can dash into this wall and jump off of it and grab Theo. Why can you dash into those spikes? Because the large majority of spikes in this map are dash through spikes. They're what you'd call dream spikes, but they don't really like function like dream blocks. They're dash through spikes. You can dash through them and not die if... So that's what I do. I dash into them and then jump away before my dash ends. Then, do I do it here? Yeah, so... Depending on my height here, most of the time, if I'm not super low, I do... Look at my input. I do a little left release. Just for a couple frames. So that I'm lower here. Because you can be awkwardly high here. It's never unrecoverable, I think. But it can be awkward. And then here's another one. Another dream double jump, dream hyper. Reminder. The biggest help for me was make sure to press jump early. And then really focus on hyper inputs. Then you got it. Screen 6. Skipping most of the intended. This is another lineup. Walk in, 2 down rights, buffer down dash. If I mess up the start, I had a recovery strat, which I don't remember. I don't remember it. What this lineup does, by the way, actually, because it's not that clear, is it makes you not stop. Like, you touch this wall and get retained, and you're already past it. So it makes your arc of motion smoother, and it makes it easier to time this throw, which I'll talk about later. But that's why I do such a lineup. From Respawn, I had a Vidi Toolbox teleport point set up to just put me in the right spot. Yeah, do an instant super, do a release here in the freeze frames, buffer a demo. This is a dream single jump. Carrot. Again, buffered before the freeze frames. And also this is, you can see the 6 minimum frames coming into play here. How you're already past the dream block but still in dream dash state because of that. This throw is a 2 frame. My position setup really helped me a lot. Really helped me get it consistent a lot. Because instead of like touching this wall and then being stuck here for like, say like 3 frames and then having to time a 2F after that awkward stop, it's just a smooth arc and you time it when you are here. One of those, this frame or the next frame. Yeah, and then I do a little jump with slow fall. And then I do a Theo regrab with slow fall. And if I'm either too far left or too low here, I do a Theo stall, which is just neutral dropping Theo and regrabbing him. And that makes you make it by far. And then I throw Theo right so that I don't like crush the button in a suboptimal position. And then Theo bounces off of this block here. It's just a square hitbox. It looks like a slope, but it's a square. And then if everything's done correctly, Theo will go left here. You can fuck up the throw and have Theo just stay over at the right here. And what you can do about that is go to like the leftmost 2-ish pixels and do a down right and then an up left to grab Theo timed properly. It's kind of scary, but you can do that. I didn't end up in that situation much. This usually just worked. And then, yeah. Grab Theo, jump off the button at the right. Then you end up hitting this really high. This is good because that means... Here. That means that in most cases... you will have 3 frames to do this. You have this frame, early frame, you have this frame, and then you have the next frame where you collide with the wall. And then after that, launch state ends and you can't dash anymore. but it gives you an extra frame most of the time. It's like a variable 2-3F, but it's very rarely a 2F. There is cheese here also. I think where you do an up left and then a wall kick away and then bounce off of that. And honestly, that's probably just easier. I just didn't feel like learning it. I liked my strat. It's fun. So I just did the intended wall bounce, but it's probably harder. And yeah, bumper boost here. Down right. This up dash is a buffer. And by the way, when you do things like this, not holding grab at all in this whole thing, but then you want to press grab after you enter the dream block so that you don't throw Theo instantly as you leave the dream block. I think this is a 9F, but it could be a 6F. I forget if you have to do it before freeze frames or not. It's either 9 or 6F, I don't know. But just time the grab press with entering the dream block. And then this is a thing. It should be pretty self-explanatory by now. Oh, a firework. It's August 31st. That's stupid. Okay. Another dream double jump, dream hyper. This is buffer? Okay. Thing I have to explain. So neutral drop, and then you want to left dash like kinda high-ish here. That way you can just hold down and release grab, and either you will drop Theo because the throwing timer like ends and you're able to drop him, or because you touch the ground. And either way, you can just buffer a crouch jump here. Then you want to wait to do this left demo until after you uncrouch, after you start moving down. And then, yeah, demo hyper, ultra, gultra, down, right? Yeah, I already said that, the gultra. Demo hyper, ultra, gultra, and then you can hold down, right, and then jump again. And now, welcome to corner boost staircase. So, in its current version, I'll just explain what I was doing the entire grind. Which is, I press a jump button I can easily just have held down, which for me is spacebar. I press that here. You can see the J2 press and being held the whole time. And then I have jump buttons. I have a jump button on my left hand, which is my main jump button, and a jump button on my right hand. And I alternate those. And I actually have a pretty specific way to do this, actually. Firstly, you want to make sure you hit this corner boost. Like, you want to get the plus 40 here, for sure. Make sure about that. And then what I do is 7 presses of them. So, like that, like. Now, this part is really interesting, because you can get both too much speed and too little speed. And quite honestly, another firework, great. Quite honestly, it's pretty luck. Like, for example, see how I pressed, there's a jump input here, you can see the particles there. That doesn't give me a speed boost, but if I pressed it 1 frame later, then it would be a corner boost off of this next wall. And then that's just like speed variance that's pretty random. So you might be thinking, how could this be solved? How could this possibly be solved? Well, here's the kicker. The funny. It was already solved. It used to work so that you couldn't get too much speed. And see here, 1.2 added corner boost blocks at the end, which sounds like a good thing. It's like, ooh, the corner boosts are consistent. But what the lack of corner boost blocks did, was it basically forced you to a range of speeds. A range of speeds that always worked, no matter, like. So instead of doing specifically 7 presses here, to make sure I don't go too fast or too slow and still have it fail sometimes, you could just spam like as fast as possible, and you would almost certainly get a correct amount of speed. And I bring this up because there is a decent chance it gets patched to be something like the first 4 are corner boost blocks and the last 4 aren't. And this would pretty much solve the issues, and you could just like spam as fast as possible again. So what I'm saying here might not be too relevant. But yeah. Oh, another firework. Love that. 7 jump presses. Really hope for the best. And also, this would be patched out if this was fixed, but the speed you can get here varies a lot. I got like pretty right in the middle, dead center, nice speed. You can be slow and have to dash late, and you can be late and have to release right. Like, quite often, I ended up releasing right. In fact, I don't know this. I haven't like looked at this beforehand. Like if I go to my 1 death run here, it's probably gonna be entirely different looking. Let's see. I want to find an example, if not this one. No? Okay, apparently that's the same one. The fucking exact same trajectory. That's crazy. Yeah, a lot can happen. I swear if these are all just like completely... Oh my god, shut up. Why are they fucking... I hate the people I live nearby. It's actually so obnoxious and terrible. But here is... Okay, it's making me look like a liar. It literally like fucking... No, I promise you, you can get a wide variety of speeds here. Some speeds which don't work and kill you. And speeds where you have to release right to slow down. And kind of just, I learned what to do over time. There's a lot of depth to it, which is pretty cool. But yeah, basically it's, I do 7 jump presses. Which, by the way, it's important to hold down a jump button the whole time. Because that means you'll be doing max height jumps every time. If you don't do that, you kind of risk staying behind a wall too long and losing speed because you're doing bad jumps. Ooh, another firework. I guess I should stop talking about it, but it pisses me off. Yeah. What was I even saying? I don't know. I'm losing focus because of that. Basically, yeah, this is hard. And you want to grab Theo and make it through. If you miss Theo, it is technically savable. You can do a left dash at the bottom. And then, what day is it? Like August 31st. What could they possibly be celebrating? What could they possibly be celebrating, guys? Oh, dude, it's... Firstly, those are months. Those are weeks. National Trail Mix Day. The birth anniversary of Mag Say Say. It's Eat Outside Day. It's Franchise Appreciation Day. Don't we just love franchises? I don't know. I'm getting sidetracked. You can do a left dash and then a right jump. What's gonna happen if you need to save this? A save which I have never done even in practice. But Theo's gonna get stuck like down here. You can do a left dash and then a little like 12F right jump here. And then you grab Theo, jump off of the wall, and then like neutral drop Theo and smuggle. And like it's impossible. Like it can be done, but it's impossible. And then for swag, at the ending here, I do a Dream Double Jump Dream Hyper. And then followed by that, I buffer a back boost and then upright, and that gets me like on this step. And it's just fun movement. Wow, that's a loud sound, dude. Can you fucking kill yourself? Can you kill yourself? Please kill yourself. Please kill yourself. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit annoyed. It's so like like constant noise is pretty annoying, right? Like okay, I don't know. What, you want me to wait for you? Are you done, fuckers? They're not. But that firework is done. Yeah. You the secret area to skip the long-ass elevator cutscene. Which, fun fact, little Celeste tidbit, there's a silver collect trigger, like here, just like in the whole area, and normally that forces you to collect the silver, but if the silver is trailing behind the golden, instead of taking 9 frames to collect, it takes 18, and you can smuggle the silver to checkpoint 2 only if you have a golden. And I did that like once. I don't know, just a funny note. And here, binoculars binoculars put you to the same pixel, but don't reset your subpixel, but the whole pixel here works. So do that. Do a neutral hyper, which you can do by holding down. So like, don't do like a no direction press demo and then jump, because that can hypothetically fail. You want to do down, just hold down and then do a hyper. And here, I just tap grab to pick Theo up and throw him, and then that lines up pretty perfectly to just jump and then downright smuggle. That's all that is. It's so you don't have to do it like a neutral drop. And here, this is a fucking hard input. Again, you want to buffer jump before leaving this so you don't like hit the bumper ever. And also buffer a Theo release. And also the jump is small. Then after you do that, you want to move left for at least 5 frames to be able to smuggle. Because if you don't, you'll just run out of dash attack too fast. I did a lot more than 5F. And then down left and then smuggle. The interesting thing about this is that when you grab Theo with downwards momentum, it removes your downwards momentum. So you can see this frame. I just move horizontally. That's it. So like if I dashed a frame later, for example, I would just be way lower comparatively. If I dashed a frame earlier, I would be way higher. So it's kinda weird. It's weird. Like, this is an extremely weird input. I died to it plenty of times. It's super hard to get consistent. But I promise you it can be, at least a bit. I want to look at kind of the inputs I did, because I don't even know. Yeah, I did like 8 frames of left or something, which is enough. Hitting this bumper is a concern, for sure. Where am I? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, it's hard. And then, pretty much wherever you grab this, you can just do a full dream hyper and make it. And then here is a little dance. Now here, I think it's fine, actually. Actually, maybe it's not. Maybe this fails more. But you, like, can bumper boost this. But I chose not to. But here's the thing. It's possible to miss this as it reappears if you're too far right. Although, there are ways to avoid this. Like, where is it? Here, yeah. Basically, all I'm saying is, like, this is a nice little sequence of inputs. You release grab, and then you press dash, and then you press grab later. It's worth noting that normally a buffer dash is a 5-frame window, but if you press grab, like, a frame after dash, for example, then that would make it tight. Because if you press grab, it's kind of like, okay, the dash has a cooldown, but the grab doesn't. Like, if I pressed grab here, Madeline would do a regrab animation and would be dead. So you need to press dash, and then after the dash buffer goes through, you need to grab. So ideally, you press dash, and then, like, 5 frames later or more, you press grab. So, like, don't do the grab press too quickly. But it's not... It's mostly just muscle memory. I don't know. There's, like, a more extreme example of this later, of course. There's, like, plenty of these. And to not bumper boost here, what I did is press right a bit before the bumper activated. and then timer release, this is hard. This is like hard to get used to, but at least for me, it became pretty natural at some point. But if you press right too soon, you can end up being too far right and fully clip through and miss the bumper here, which is bad. You do not want to do that. So, yeah, don't press right too soon. But the way bumper boosts work, bumper boosts are lenient. Like, if I was holding left on this frame, I think, or is it this frame? I don't know. But, like, one of these, it would bumper boost. Like, you do need to press right before the bumper hit to not bumper boost. And then, yeah, time another release. This down right isn't buffered, I think, at least most of the time. Yeah, I did not buffer it. And so this is dream double jump, and then you want to throw Theo before you collide with the wall. I kind of did this closely here, but okay, if you collide with the wall and then throw Theo, he's going to give you a little bit of a boost away from the wall, which this is bad. I'll explain why later, but let's just talk about this input for now, okay? So you want to throw Theo before you hit the wall. So instead of giving you a boost backwards, it just slows you down towards the block, and you still end up right next to the block instead of away from it. And what this does is it allows you to actually be inside of these spikes and wall bounce, because they're dash through spikes. There's leniency with that. If you are too far away from the wall, so that you can like still wall bounce here, but you aren't inside the spikes. The spikes do kill wall bounce leniency, is what I'm saying. Like, you do need to be inside of the spikes to wall bounce out of them, which is guaranteed. It's also just better to be further left because you're further away from this spinner. So just do the throw before you collide with the wall, which I was really close to not doing here. And throw, jump, re-grab. There's like also definitely theories of things where you can like line up here and then do like a buffer jump. I'll talk about that later, actually. Yeah, do this, and then this down dash is like a 1.2 frame. What I mean by that is that it is a 1F most of the time, like the large majority of the time, but sometimes there's an extra frame here. Like, sometimes, depending on both horizontal and vertical positioning, it can be a 2F. And there's definitely like visions of having a strat to make it a consistent 2F. So that like you grab here, do a little lineup, and like do some buffered stuff, and then it becomes a 2F. I just didn't want to. I thought a 1F was cool, and I was able to hit it like the large majority of the time anyways, so it's fine. That's kind of weird. Then you do down dash. You want to hold down to neutral drop. And then, so, if you dashed on the earlier frame, the like extra frame, you probably want to spend a couple regrabs just making sure you're lined up in the middle properly. And if you dashed on the middle frame, I do a little left press here so that I am not too far right. Because you can be so far right that you like hit the bumper and it knocks you into this spinner and you die, and that's bad. So it's just a little left tap if you hit the middle pixel, and this should be good. This is a buffer. Then you do a dream double jump. And here's a thing. You don't have to release grab. Just holding down and letting the ground auto drop them does enough. But I released like everything. You can see I'm holding jump. I'm holding 2 jumps and a grab. I release everything so that I'm not slow falling, and I press jump 3 times after sliding against the ground slightly. So, this is very finicky. Like, the timing is important, Because if you go too fast, Theo can be at a wrong point in the bounce here, and you won't be able to grab him, at least easily. And also, if you're too late, Theo can be too low, and you won't be able to grab him, at least easily. So, doing this timing is sort of like really hard to do consistently. But the way I found best was no slow fall, like slide against the ground a couple frames, and then do 3 jumps with 1 jump button. And that generally lined up quite well. This right demo is a 2F. For this down left, this, like, just these lines in the background, I forget exactly. Honestly, like, I had a visual cue for this at first, but then it became mostly feel after I did it a million times. Yeah, just down left here whenever. You might have to do it later if Theo is high, so that you can grab him, but that's sketchy. And you might have to do it earlier if he's low, and that's also sketchy. Ideally, you do it in like the middle of the timing, so that you hit this bumper at a good height and everything's good. You can hit this bumper too high and die to these spinners. That is so easy to do. So easy to die there. Yeah. This is, I didn't even mention this in room 2. This is the same thing at the start of room 2. You can buffer throw Theo, and then buffer a right dash, and then buffer a grab. Like, everything here is buffered. Well, I mean, I guess technically it doesn't have to be, but yeah. Do that. Jump off the button, which this button timing, honestly, awkward as hell. Yeah. And this part's interesting. It's another door jump. You can see here I did a fast climb jump where I didn't grab the door, but if I did grab the door, that would take extra time so that the door disappears relatively earlier, and I would have hit this bumper in a better spot, in like a less sketchy spot. It doesn't really matter though, like it usually always works. Just sort of like, you can get different trajectories from this jump is what I'm saying, I guess. You want to make sure you're never too far right, because that can make you too slow. This jump, you always want to buffer. This is scary. Like, that block disappears pretty fast. Then do a fast climb here. Generally just fast climbing. You climb up a little bit here, but not too much that the block disappears. And then here, you throw Theo against the wall, dash up into him, and then notice how I'm just holding down. This is a buffer neutral release, which lines up perfectly with re-grabbing him. Then more drill. Do a normal dash here, because again, you throw Theo. If you end up being low here, by the way, this can actually be like awkward. Like a pretty tight upright. But it's generally not that bad. More drill stuff. And then you can hold left into this. I call it drill because that's the screen in Solar Express, by the way. What I did first playthrough, which I think is bad, is doing a little stutter and waiting to hit this. You can just hold left and then do a grab press, like, in, like, this area. Like, this area? This area. Like a tiny bit. Like a tiny bit to the right of this bumper, or to the left of it. Because the earlier you do it, the more height you lose. And you need to lose height so that you, I mean, I think hitting this bumper is a concern. Yeah, you need to lose height so that you don't hit that bumper, basically. So just, the grab has a wide window. It's a very simple grab. So you do that. And then from here on out, there's no more grab pressing. And bumper boost, bumper boost. And then I held right here. Bumper boosting on these two, but not these two. And then dream double jump out of here while holding Theo is like technically the fastest way, but the time pressure shouldn't really matter that much if you're doing it good anyways. It is worth noting, the timer for the ending starts here. This starts the timer for the ending. So it doesn't matter like doing this, like if you do this faster, that's not gonna affect the ending. And yeah, you can throw Theo into the next room, which you weren't always able to do, funnily enough. And then, yeah, so this is... I'm locking in. I'm getting it twisted. Line up here, right dash, down dash, and then wait for the stream lock. On respawn, the starting position is good, and the starting moon cycle is good. You can just go like immediately on respawn. But on entry, I wait for the moon block to move down, like on this pixel, and then that's like my visual cue to go. And then you do a full jump, and from a full jump, you can actually buffer perfect Gultras because you land... This is dash cooldown 1. So I jump on the last frame possible for a wave dash, and then I buffer dash, and that's just a perfect Gultra. And that's the setup here. So you do that. Then if I remember correctly, it's the last 4 frames of this dash you can jump, where you jump and then buffer dash again. So it's like, yeah, there's just 2 instances. Generally for Gultras, you want to be doing this anyways, to do them fast, where you buffer the dash. And yeah, you can do that on dash CD 4, 3, 2, or 1 here, I think. Pretty sure. I did it on 4 here. Then you grab Theo, buffer down right, buffer down left. This input's... I died to this down left like a couple times, I think. This throw is a throw for sure. Kinda hard and weird. Like sometimes. You want to make sure you don't miss this, by the way. Because you only find out you missed it like towards the end. And it's always sad. It's always really, really sad. So you don't want to do that. That would be bad news. Yeah, land here, wait a tiny bit. I actually waited like almost too short. Then do a bunny hop, and then you can down right. This little line in the background is a pretty good visual cue, though I stopped using it and just going by feel, and just went by feel, just like that thing in Room 8. You can also like do different things here to skip the bunny hop. None of them I liked, but you can do different things. And then, welcome to the button jumps. This is the single hardest input in the map, I think. So, unlike every other button jump on the map, this first one isn't a buffer. Like, it isn't a buffer. You do not buffer this. Because look here, you can jump on this frame, but you haven't landed the ultra, and you need to land the ultra. You can tell you land the ultra by if you're crouched. You don't land the ultra that much because your vertical speed is very low. So yeah, you don't buffer jump here. Ideally, you land left on this. Like, this was really good. I did this entry about... Like, I made the button jumps as easy as they could have been with this entry. Not the most common entry. Yeah, wait a bit. And then now, here's the funny thing. You want to do a 2-frame jump. Like you press jump for 2 frames. Exactly. Frame perfectly. That is the input. That's the input. And the thing about this is, not only is there a frame perfect, the immediate next button jump is hard too. Because if you press jump too early, you'll start slow falling and then miss it. Just like the one before. I can get the example of the winning run up. Yeah, I press jump here. So I guess like 2 frames before. Pretty good. But if I press jump like earlier, like 2 frames earlier probably wouldn't have worked, is what I'm saying. So it's like a tight timing, despite it being a, like it doesn't have the whole buffer window usually. The reason you want to do a 2 frame jump, at least for me, is, well, firstly, if you do a 3 frame jump from too far right, you can just overshoot the button sometimes. But okay, there's technically some ranges where both a 2 frame and 3 frame jump work. So why is it specifically one of them that I'm aiming for? Well, it's because the timing for the next button jump radically varies between 2F and 3F jump, to the point where I think it is completely unreactable. And if you want any sort of consistency, you just have to choose one jump height to go for, and go for that timing. Which is what I did. I did a 2F jump because it works from more positions here. And then buffer. So yeah, frame perfect input, really fucked up. Like, this is just fucked up, sick and twisted, impossible input. This paired with the 1 frame down dash in room 8 are the 2 1 frames in this. Sorta. I mean, there's an extra bonus 1 frame I did in abaddon. We'll get to that later. But yeah, I do climbing here. You know, I mean, there's so many ways you can climb this. Probably better ways than mine. This is another neutral climb jump. If I start flashing red, for some reason with the neon skin, Madeline just like dims, doesn't flash, she just becomes darker. But yeah, holding Theo with no stamina here. Here's a kicker. Here's a kicker. What the fuck am I talking about? I made a deathless strat. No, did I? Yeah, it's deathless. Or is it hard clear strat? One of the strat channels, I put this strat. So if you're confused, you can get a better explanation of it there. I mean, this should be a good explanation though. Basically, you neutral drop Theo, and you want Theo to be in one of 3 pixels. There's a 3 pixel range that works, because it's 3 pixels because you grab him the same frame, like the whole time, like in all cases, and then once Theo is in one of those 3 pixels, you completely subpixel independently, climb up to the top pixel, everything works. You can just up left. This is a buffer sequence of like a lot. You up left, you can release grab immediately because throw cooldown is nice. You hold right immediately, and then bumper boost. This up dash is a 4 frame. Refill timings are 4 frames, by the way, because it's the 1 frame plus the 3 freeze frames, so 4. So you need to demo this, and then you need to press grab, because if you don't, you will throw Theo. And the grab release is extremely lenient, again, because you're crouched. So it's not a 6F grab release, it's like a 20F grab release. It looks like you should hit this, but Madeline is actually crouched here, it just doesn't look like it. Then this is a 2 frame left dash, bumper boost. You up demo is important to the strat, up demo. Then buffer down dash, bumper boost. And then you did the strat. If you don't have a strat for this, and do like nothing, this will be like a variable 0 to 1F, usually. And the 1F that works will like shift. So it's basically like kinda luck if you don't have a strat. But with my strat, it's a consistent 2 frame, which is really nice. But wait, there's more. Sometimes you can end up really far left. Like here, I think. So far left that if you just did nothing and hit this bumper, it would knock you into the spinners. So to combat that, Theo Vader. But watch out, because you can Theo Vader into the spike, so you need to be careful about it. If you miss the Theo Vader and hit the bumper early, you can still live. You just need to, like, deal with it and drop Theo on the way up so that Theo lines up here. And now welcome to this part. Genuinely one of the hardest parts for me, but it became one of the most consistent. So, firstly, you do a drink lap here, and then I waited a couple frames to down dash. The wait is so that the timing just lines up better with when the block starts to move. I don't know. It's like a tiny little baby wait. and then you do this. There's plenty of ways to do this. Like, you can hold down the whole time, which I did. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. I do that? Yeah, no, I do that. Okay, yeah. I held down the entire time. Right. So there's so many things that can go wrong here. Like, you can press dash too late and climb down into spikes and die. You can mess up a grab. You can press dash too early and have the dash not go through. You can like release right. You can like release a direction so that it's a like too late so that it's a diagonal instead of a down dash. Basically, this is hard. Like doing all these down dashes and grabs hard. Then you demo here and grab. Now there's like hypothetically some strats where you can cheese it, where you can like release and then throw Theo to the right. But here's the thing. You see how this block is shaking? This block that I'm on right now? It is actually shaking. Like, look at Madeline's position. Notice how she moves with the block. It genuinely moves while it shakes and gives you lift boost. And basically makes that strat like feel sort of like. But it's fine for intended. It shouldn't do this. Your entity should not do this. Like, your entity should not do that. It should not do that. But I don't know. Thank you, Frost Helper. I believe. I think it's Frost Helper. Thank you. Yeah, and then this is hard. So I use sort of the positioning of these guys as a visual cue. It's a dream double jump, dream high fair, which by the way, I found I had to purposely try to do way earlier than I thought, because since the block was moving right, it would make you seem like you exited, like at a different time than you do, but you don't. Yeah, so dream double jump, dream high fair, grab, and if you timed it right, which is hard, it is hard to time it right. That block will push you down into the right spot and go. And what happens here is your height can be very varied. You can be low or you can be like in the middle or high. And depending on where you are, that changes this next part. So for example, I was kind of in the middle here. Like not too high, not too low. You kind of want to be high. Being high is better. And that is because, firstly, neutral drop. You hold down right to neutral drop. You can either get 2 or 3 boosts out of this dream block, and 3 is just objectively better in like every way. But if you're low, yeah, lift boost for moving blocks only lasts 10 frames, so like, here's an example of it failing. I get a lift boosted jump. I get another lift boosted jump. Everything's going well. But since I'm like low enough, it would be too scary to actually get lift boost on this down right. So I don't. I don't get a third boost. I just get 2 boosts and that's it. That can just happen sometimes. Yeah. So you start to know whether you're gonna get 2 boosts or gonna get 3, whether you should aim for 3 by dashing slightly earlier or just aim for 2. The reason you want 3 is so that you go faster here. And you like just save a bunch of time reaching this bumper. Why does going faster help? Well, that makes, if you're faster, this block is further left, and this entire sequence becomes much easier. So, ideally you get 3 block boosts here, 3 lift boosts from the 2 jumps and the down right, but you don't get that every time. You just have to deal with it sometimes that you don't, but it's fine, you know? If you are slow, this down right is not too fast after the jump, but if you're fast, it's pretty instant after the jump. And yeah. Ultra, and here's the thing. Plenty of things in this golden. When I do this left dash, like, I'm not holding jump. And what that does is it makes me fall more and hit this bumper lower. That's technically risky because you can have, like, bad height and just get knocked down, right? But I did this when I got 2 boosts because what being lower there allows me to do is after everything's said and done, you can just, like, go into this bumper immediately and not die to hitting these spikes. Whereas if you hold jump and you slow fall, you're gonna have to wait a little bit to hit that so you don't risk dying. But then this block will be further right, and that's kind of scary. I didn't want it to be further right, so that's what I did to deal with that, is not hold jump and hit this lower. Now, there's a wide variety of pixels you can hit this on. Like, if we look in Physics Inspector, and this goes for, like, literally every bumper hit ever in the world, you can hit it on so many different pixels. Like, look at, these are all my positions on consecutive frames. I'm not landing on every pixel. I'm skipping plenty of pixels. If you hit this bumper really far right, and you just go through, if you hit this bumper really far right, and as I mentioned before in Thanatos, you press right too early here. Oh, I almost bumper boosted by 1 frame. That sucks. Anyways, basically, you can get bad position and skip past the entire bumper again. What I did to combat that is, look at my right arrow. I do a little release for a couple frames, which makes it so that I slow down a bit and will never overshoot it. That was hard to get used to, but I got used to it. Doing a little release there. It is helpful. And yeah, this is just like the same thing in Thanatos, except you do not want to bumper boost this. Like, you do not want to. It will fail like 95% of the time. And then yeah, what I did if I did get 3 block boosts is I just held jump and was higher up here, which all that meant was that I waited a bit longer to hold left into this bumper to lose some height. And then here, you dash into this block, you don't want to be super far right, but it's not that tight, really, if you do it right. And now, like, this part is silly, because, like, when you hold Theo above your head, and this block moves, it pushes Theo to the left, but this block doesn't move every frame. So you can see next frame it doesn't move, it doesn't push Theo, and Theo is above Madeline and not to the left. Theo's position, like, if you drop Theo, if you wait too long to drop Theo, then, like, okay. Like, yeah, if you end up too high, then it becomes basically luck if Theo will be to the side of you or directly over you. And whether or not that's an issue that kills you depends on, like, your positioning and how fast you are. Generally, I tried to drop Theo before that even happened, but actually, did I? I don't even remember. Honestly, I don't even, like, I don't know what I do here. It's so just, like, baked into my muscle memory and brain. I can't really describe it in words, I just do it, you know? It's, you go left enough. You can be, like, scarily far right here and be fine because the block does push you left while it moves. And then this is hard because you have to hold down but then very quickly updash. And it's just, like, a very quick and awkward thing to do. I died to this. I got 2 runs to this room after returning from 25-day non-on-purpose break. And the first run died to this, to throwing it left. Which, yeah, it's hard. I don't know. It is really hard. I guess something worth noting is that you can press up after you dash, and that's fine. And yeah, I don't know, hard. But yeah, that's that room. Welcome to Abaddon. You can get like really good hard hits here. But yeah. Here's my stupid ass talking about how this run doesn't have much of a chance to line up in the same pixel as where you spawn normally. I do a down right and then a right dash and then just go neutral. Although, funny thing, there are actually 2 spawn points that you get during different scenarios. If you die in Q1, you get put on this pixel. Like on this pixel, exact pixel. If you die past Q1 and have to get teleported back, you're actually like a block farther right. So when I'm playing Abaddon and I die past Q1, I just redo the lineup usually. And yeah. Welcome to Abaddon. Hardest Celeste room. You know? So from this pixel, you can hyper, down right hyper, and every frame you can jump and buffer dash and it's fine. And then here, you want to do this pretty quick. Oh, I guess I just held down right the whole time. Okay. Usually I don't for speed optimization, but I guess that's not important. And then here, this is hard. This Ultra Chain in general is really hard, but this is not just Gultring into Theo. It's jumping and then Gultring into Theo. So that you hit this with good height. Right? But doing the jump Gultring into Theo is like a 2F. Maybe it's a 1F sometimes even too if you don't do the first jump time that well. So yeah, this was hard. This was like my first death to Abaddon. Just jump Gultra. Really hard Ultra Chain. Genuinely really hard. And then, you don't want to buffer this jump. You want to wait a couple frames so that you get more height. So that it never fails. It's more height because you fall down less at the end. Now, funny thing here, which actually might have mattered. I noticed I hit this bumper. Like, your positioning here is basically gonna be random. There's so many different Ultra Chains you can do. I noticed I hit this bumper super far into it. Because that's a thing I can see, apparently. I don't know how the fuck I see that. Yeah. No, you can... I guess it's because she's, like, mostly covered. I don't know. But, like, yeah. So, you can hit this bumper too far right and fully clip through and not be able to bounce on the side of it. This is a semi-common thing in this map. Like in room 8 and 9 and this room. And again here, you can look at my right arrow key. I do a little release to prevent that for a couple frames. And I'm actually curious. Like, it feels like that might have helped. The situation where that helps is actually quite rare. But maybe it actually did help. Because, like, wait, no, it so helped. I'm on the rightmost 0.12. Yeah, that, like, 3F release absolutely saved my ass. Like, I'm pretty convinced that... Why is it only saving vertical positioning to the nearest 8th? That's weird. Okay. That's weird. But... Yeah, so stutter there to save your ass sometimes. I did not stutter every time. I thought that it was like quite hard to do that motion, that stutter motion, because it fucked with like the grab release timing in my head, but then I got better at it. Then this is a bumper boost up diagonal hit, then buffer up right, and then buffer up dash. Now this used to kill you sometimes, but why the fuck does it look like that in Physics Inspector? Fiddy, what is this? This is an invisible barrier, which if you are on the leftmost pixel, which I guess didn't actually happen here, I ended up pretty far right into this bumper, but if you are on the third pixel from the side of this bumper, sometimes in previous versions, you could be too... What would happen? You could be too low and get knocked down diagonal. Right. It's the bumper that kills you sometimes. But not anymore because that invisible barrier corner corrects you over. But it does have a side effect of anytime you're in that pixel at all, it completely normalizes your height. So you generally get like the same result. This is a different result than the more common one, which is fine. Yeah, it's cool. And by the way, that change was my idea. So, God bless. Um, you face left in the dream block, throw Theo left, and then dash right. Like, the timing of dashing right here varies. Like, if you are super far left, you don't want to buffer it because you might be too low. But if you're super far right, you do want to do it faster. Because that's not English. Because otherwise you will be too high when you get to the bumper. There's also probably just plenty of cheese here, but I just chose not to use it, and I never died to it, so never punished. But yeah, I hit that quite high, by the way. Pretty scuffed. And then, depending on, like, my trajectory, again, you can look at my right arrow. I did a little release there so that I hit it at a better spot. And yeah. This down dash is buffer from a bumper boost. I just do this little thing. I saw someone do a strat once where they, like, went on the left side and then dashed through here and it looked horrible and didn't play too good. But it's a thing you can do, technically. And yeah, do this weave. It's kind of tight-ish. And then there's a lot you can do here. But I throw Theo left and then do this so that it's not a freeze frame on grab. It's just a as soon as you can on grab and it's whatever. This wall bounce is, if you miss it, the save I had was to neutral drop Theo and then up left into the bumper and then like down left into Theo, throw Theo, and there's like better saves you can do probably though. Also, speaking of saves, if you for whatever reason don't get Theo here, like there's so much you can do when things go wrong. I don't know. It's hard to describe. I feel like if I'm remembering correctly, I feel like I probably did a save in Tetravaden. Let's see. Let's just take a little look. If I did any saves here. Okay, this is normal. Okay, abaddon 1 is normal. How about abaddon 2? Which, by the way, this is a thing I did. Abaddon 4 times in a row, which is kind of ridiculous. Also, yeah, I guess what I was saying earlier, you can see, at least I think you should be able to see. Yeah. Wait, no. Yeah? Is she moving a pixel right here? That has to just be distortion. That has to just be distortion. Okay, I don't know, whatever. I'm getting off topic. Do I do no saves here? I swear I did saves. Maybe I'm thinking of a different... Yeah, I must be thinking of a different thing. I don't know. I've done plenty of saves here. I wish I could show an example of them. But I can't think of where it happened. It's fine. It's very common. And yeah, so this wall bounce, in order to get like consistent positioning, I waited to jump so that I bonk before jumping, and then I corner correct on frame 2. And then that like completely just normalizes, not completely, but it very much normalizes my horizontal position and completely normalizes vertical position. And also normalizes the jump timer you have left, and like everything is nice. Also, this throw isn't free. This throw can fail and is hard sometimes. But if you're too far right, sometimes you corner correct on frame 1, and then you end up too far right. And the way to combat that is to... I don't know. I just like... Or no. Wait, hold on. What even... Why did... Okay. I don't fucking remember. I don't even remember, dude. Like, this is stuff that I logicked out like 90 hours and like 2 months ago during my first clear, to the point where I don't know, just bonk and then jump after bonking, and for some reason that's good. And then this is a buffer, also buffer throw, buffer upright, and then you don't want to instantly regrab here. You wait a bit, and then I held jump for slow fall, then you hit this. Now this is an exercise in basic subpixel normalization. You want to release right before hitting this wall so that you collide with it and you get exactly 0.5 subpixels. And then you want to do, just like in room 5, full climb jump into the ceiling, no fast fall, full slow fall. And then that also completely normalizes your vertical position. It's kind of cute little subpixel that's actually required for clear there, but it's like not nasty subpixel nip. It's just cool subpixel nip. Also, fun fact: I have a headache. That's nice. Newly formed headache. Yay! I'm almost done talking though. It's just one more room, guys. How much could it be? Yeah, everything here is buffered. And welcome to Patrick. So you know, like Patrick from SpongeBob? There's 5 sides. It's Patrick. So this isn't a massive buffer sequence like you might like intuitively think though. There is non-buffered variants. So you are holding right, and you do just buffer and upright here. And also, I'm pretty sure, yeah, I bumper boosted this as well. And this left press is not held ASAP. I think that knocks you down left if you do. I could be wrong. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I think I'm right when I say that. But yeah, you do that. And then you do buffer left dashes with the grab press slightly after the dash. Remember what I said earlier? Like, look at when I press dash there, and then like 1, 2, 3, 4 frames later I press grab. So that basically like gives me the whole window to buffer dash. So it's just a bunch of those. However, there's more to it than you'd think. You also want to pay careful attention to your horizontal position here, so that you're not going too far left is the goal. Because like if you like hold left for too long, you can be too far left so that you get knocked like up diagonally here, and that is bad. At least I think so. Yeah, you get knocked up diagonally, and then you like exit launch state. Everything's bad. Uh, basically try to be to the right a bit. And yeah, it's kind of just muscle memory. If you look at my hand, this isn't even like that relevant, but just like look at my left hand. The left side of my hand, my pinky is grab. The right side, my middle finger is dash. Just look at it. It's nice. It's nice. And then Patrick actually has a really big top hat. Did you know that? It's a sick hat. So here is throwing Theo against the wall, up dashing into him. Except it is not as shrimple as it may appear. The hitboxes on these guys are mean. Like, they're actually pretty one-to-one with the sprite. Like, the hitbox, like, ends here. It doesn't end, like, here. It ends here. So there's not, like, the leniency you might be used to with spinners. And also, it's possible to throw Theo and then updash, like, too soon. Or being too far left so that you can only grab Theo after the dash ends. Or not at all. And then you don't get a boost upwards, and that's bad. So, you want to, like, throw, and then wait quite a bit. And then updash. So, and then there's a tiny right tap to reposition yourself, because throwing messes up your position. Yeah, I mean, I probably got quite close to some spinners there. Honestly, that probably happens most of the time. It's scary. Like, okay, a couple pixels away. And then this, here's a funny part. So, another bumper clip like this. Except for some reason, this one feels different than the ones in Rim 3, but I don't know why. Then you do just a tap of grab, not a hold. And then, also, this touch switch here starts the timer for this block. So there's not much room for mini strats, although that block is more lenient than it looks because of the dash 3 spikes. But something that can happen is that you can grab, Theo can be low, and you can be late on the grab so that Theo presses the switch and then you grab, which is just silly when that happens. It doesn't really do that much. It doesn't really matter though, because you do everything the same speed anyways. Yeah, do that, down dash and right dash. Now here's a funny thing. As I said earlier, it pretty much happens with every bumper hit. Where you hit this bumper varies a lot. So for example, I hit it high, and that resulted in me colliding in the dream block earlier. So this is an interesting part. There's basically 3 different, as far as I'm aware, maybe it's 4 and the 4th one is like rare and it's further right. There's like 3 different places you can hit this dream block in, and they're all like 1 frame apart from each other. So like you can hit it on this frame, which is the earliest, or, I mean, let's just look at like Tetrabaddon should have a nice range of these. That is also far left. Okay, so that one is far left. That one is also far. What the fuck? Stop giving me far left. That's so woke of it, dude. Okay, that one is in the middle. So that's the middle frame. And then there's also a frame to the right of it. And ooh, do I get the frame to the right of it here? I don't. Okay, but yeah. The timing on this right demo, like, varies depending on that. Like, if you enter the dream block early, obviously you have to dash earlier. If you enter the drain block later, you have to dash later. And that is genuinely just a thing you learn to react to. It's really hard. And yeah, you hold down to neutral drop Theo, and then you do a right demo and a reverse demo hyper. And now here's the funny. Here's the real funny. Because I got the leftmost frame, right? Oh, do your subpixels vary too? Oh. So this, like, sometimes would not do that. Oh, but it, like, mostly would. Yeah, basically, if you're on the leftmost frame, and I literally didn't even learn this until after I got the golden, but I'm pretty sure, essentially, either the dash or the jump timing will be frame perfect. I think. So yeah, you can see also there's leniency on this. It is lenient. So on the other two it's not too bad, but here I do the right demo, and then on this frame I'm next to the wall. If I press jump on this frame, I would wall kick. And then here, I'm on the last frame of the hyper. If I jumped one frame later, I would not get a reverse hyper. So this jump press is a frame perfect given my circumstance, which I didn't know. Like, I didn't know that could even happen, but it apparently can. Like, I'm curious, like, is that just always a 1F if you don't, if you get the leftmost frame? It literally might be. Not always, but yeah, I mean, maybe. Maybe it's a frame perfect every time, and that's goofy as shit, because somehow I didn't know that. Like, I was just hitting the frame perfect most of the time. I almost never died here. Huh. Like, I'm pretty sure this would wall kick. Crazy. Okay. So I hit a 1 frame. Then you grab Theo, do a grab release upright. You face left in the dream block. And then this is an interesting thing. You throw Theo and then hyper right. So what I do to make sure I buffer the hyper, which is important, because if you don't, your positioning and like everything's gonna be too messed up. I think you can have your height too high relative to Theo if you wait like more than 1 or 2 frames. So I press demo before I press right. So it's kind of like a redirect type thing. And then buffer, dash, grab Theo. This little hit, I don't know if you have to freeze frame and grand time it or not. You might have to, but I did. This down right, you can delay. I don't think it has to be buffered. Yeah, you can tell because I was 1 frame late on the buffer. And being late on the buffer is kind of beneficial. Because it's possible to be too far right here and hit these spinners. So to avoid being too far right, I think if it knocks you right, you want to wait a bit on the down right. I could be wrong, I don't know. And then, now here's the thing. Wait. I'm at least pretty sure that yeah, I'm pretty sure this upright is a 2 frame timing. So this frame and the frame before. And it's a hard input. I gotta do it like twice. So it's just 2 frame. 2 frame, go. This is again from an up diagonal, so you don't need to dream double jump, dream hyper from these. It's only from horizontal and downwards ones you need to do that. But yeah. Another one of those, you can just release jump, and then this lines up. It's another button jump, and yeah. Neutral drop Theo. It is possible to be too far right here and miss this, so you don't want to do that, basically. There are many ways to avoid that, and honestly, I don't know what I do. It's all in my head in ways I can't put into words again. But yeah, do that, buffer left. Grab Theo. I pressed grab way after pressing dash because there is no reason to press it early and that would suck to mess up. This wall bounce, kinda hard, but it's not that hard actually. You just want to make sure you hold jump the whole time. Like, hold jump for all of jump timer. Which I did, right? Yeah, plenty. Like, jump timer ends and I'm still holding jump. That is important for height. And then you just drop Theo and down left. And if this block, if for whatever reason you're slow, like Theo hit the timer start earlier or you did something slow, this block can push you, but it won't kill you because the spikes are dash through spikes and you have dash attack. So yeah, basically, I don't know, in conclusion, it's an input, you do it. Dream double jump, dream hyper. Depending on your height for this, is either buffer or it isn't. Like, you can see here, you can dash on this frame, but I dash 2 frames later, because it feels nicer. If you buffer dash on this frame, you end up having the upright dash end and there's a little slowdown before you enter the dream block, which kind of messed with my timing for the dream double jumps. For the dream double jump, it's just 1. But sometimes, if you end up really low, you have to buffer for height reasons. So, that is something I reacted to and did different things depending on the situation I was in. And yeah, dream double jump, neutral drop, up left re-grab, throw right, up dash grab. Yeah, I mean, there's like, I think you can throw left here too or something, but I swear the right dash is like chill and nice. This upright is kinda hard. This upright's like kinda fucking difficult. Like, maybe it doesn't look that hard, but like, if we just look at the hitboxes here, you are probably gonna get close to like one of these spinners. I kept dying to this. Also, this spinner is more of a danger than this spinner. I forgot. Yeah, I kept dying to this like first playthrough, but then I got better at it. It's hard though. Not easy. Not at all one bit easy. This is another, it's from an up diagonal, so you don't have to dream double jump. This is a little grab tap. Just tap grab. Lot of frames you can do that. Buffer dash as soon as you throw. And then I'm gonna say something and not do it because I fucked it up, but both of these dashes are buffered. And if you buffer the right dash there, dash cooldown makes it so that this up left will come out on this frame, which is good because it makes grabbing Theo more lenient, but it doesn't really matter. It's fine either way. But I missed the buffer, so I dashed on this frame instead. Yay! So that's the last frame that possibly could have worked. This is a dream double jump again. Go earlier than you think. Neutral drop. Upright. Buffer neutral drop. left dash, which you can do from quite far away. You can do left and right dash smuggles from quite far away. And another dream double jump. Throw it against the side here. Make sure not to throw it too high. Neutral drop upright. Buffer neutral drop. Now, that is just what I do, but there's so much you can do here. Like, it is genuinely so many things you can do. This is what worked best for me. Also, it's like the most fun option. Then go up here. And then yeah, Q3 entry. Surely there's like a lot you can do. I don't know. I think you can like maybe walk off and right dash, or like down right and right dash. I just did an ultra, but I did do an ultra from a hyper. Specifically, I aim to be on any frame, any pixel where Madeline is tiptoeing, but not the rightmost 0.5, because there's a slowdown trigger here. And if you're on the rightmost half of the rightmost tiptoe pixel, and you jump on dash CD5, and also press dash on that frame, the dash won't go through because you touched the slowdown trigger, and that gives dash CD basically an extra frame. It's so unimportant, because you're not even going to do that anyways. But yeah, I don't know, just dash and then jump and then dash. It's lenient. I don't do a wave dash to eliminate the chance of gultering, and it's more normalized from the hyper. And I was out here taking breaks before Q3 to calm down, but for some reason this run, I just didn't feel like it. I don't know. This one, I do... Remember, think back to Agony, where I did that one jump before the staircase with my second jump that I'm very comfortable to just hold down the whole time. I press second jump and I hold it down the whole time, so that these are as lenient as they can possibly be in every circumstance. And then do really quick, I mentioned this earlier, but Theo climbs, but you do the motion really fast. Look at my left hand. Just like lift and move down your hand really fast to do the inputs properly, which the inputs are release, jump, and then grab. Sometimes they'll come through on the same way. Yeah, look at that. I release jump, then I release grab, and then a couple frames later, both of them come through, but I promise you I pressed grab first. Then this theorator is honestly really hard, because if you, firstly, make sure you jump from the top of this, like, good height. Get good height off of this. And then you do a theorator, but if you wait too long to do this theorator, you will, instead of dashing in the refill, dash below the refill. And that's bad because you will get the freeze frames from the refill after the dash. So it's an extra 3 freeze frames. And I didn't like that. I found that harder to time it with, so I just went for the not extra 3 freeze frames with this. And then, if you get good enough height, you'll be able to make it over this in one climb jump comfortably. If not, you can do 2 climb jumps and save it, and it's fine. I'll tell you how later. Yeah, do jumps here. Some people do jumps like back and forth to normalize. I honestly didn't ever find any benefits from that, but... Then here, it's easier to buffer a jump off of this, and then buffer a jump off of this, and then do a climb jump here, than to just do a straight climb jump, in my opinion. I mean, I guess someone might disagree with that. Some people might disagree with that, but... Yeah, do that. And then, also, you want to make sure you're holding into the wall when you jump. Plus, the fact that you can't, like, neutral makes it really easy to do wall kicks away. So, like, just, it's fine. It's not that tight. And then here, I do a lineup with this crystal as a visual cue. And then just, you know, re-grab Theo. Everything's good in the world. You can hypothetically collide with this block and then grab Theo and lose all your speed because you got retained, and then grab Theo during retained. But that hasn't really happened much to me, though it kind of looked close here. How close is it? I don't know, basically watch out for that. It is not that close. Yeah, no, it's like fucking 4 pixels away. But yeah, I do this. This skips having the last climb jump to be neutral. And then, yeah, do that. And then throw Theo against the wall and start doing this. If you do this Theoreto poorly and have to do 2 climb jumps to make it over here, this is doable, and the way to do that is to instead do the up left here, right? So then you're past here with no dash and no stamina. You do have stamina. Then you have to just do a neutral climb jump off of this. So you do up left here, neutral climb jump here to save it, if you have to. I find that quite a bit harder, but it definitely good to know. Absolutely applies sometimes. And here, it's worth making sure you don't release like with too much upwards velocity, because if you do and you repress grab, you'll just grab Theo again instead of the elevator, instead of the conveyor, and that's bad. You also want to make sure you press down like quite a bit before releasing grab. It is quite easy to like fuck up these inputs and do that too close together, I found, which can absolutely result in dying to it in a run. So don't do that. Like be good and clean with your inputs. Sometimes you can miss a camera trigger here. It's funny. If you miss the touch switch, feel free to just go for it again. You need to do that, in fact. And yeah, I do little climb jumps and then drops like that. It's kind of hard to explain exactly how I do exactly how I do it, but I just do the motion. This left dash is like 2 to 3F. I don't even remember. You can do like regrabs to wait until you're on right next to it. You can also do a demo crouch grab to make it a bit more lenient. I don't really know though. I just always did this, and I had like 1 death to it. And again, you want a demo so you can just grab the whole thing. This was my second abaddon death, where I held left, like I pressed right, but I held left for too long, and then after releasing right, I just faced left again, and then threw Theo left. So basically, like, I mean, this map is full of, like, I guess pretty much every input you can be doing that on and not know it. Like, you can be doing something that only barely lives by, like, a frame, but it always works if you're, like, consistent, right? You're doing good. But then you get there with nerves, and it all comes crumbling down. So, yeah. Basically, be careful. Make sure you're not being, like, 1F off on some inputs. Yeah, do this. Apparently getting height with this is a thing that, like, some people can struggle with. I don't really know. You just, like, time the grab press towards the end of your height, and it should be good. There were, like, strats for this. I didn't like them that much. There's, like, a backup, too. I didn't learn it that much. Maybe I should have, but it ended up being fine. But just neutral drop right dash, and then do the button jumps. These do both have to be buffered, and they are quite awkward, and the timing of the second button jump very much depends on precisely what the height of the first button jump was, which the first button jump isn't even directly dependent on how long you press jump. It also depends on when you press jump. If we look in this run, I pressed jump literally the last possible frame, which is bad. It kind of sucks. But yeah, button jumps. There they are. You do them. I thought these button jumps were like one of the easiest button jumps in the map though. Like I think room 3 and absolutely room 9 are harder. And then yeah, little quick regrab here again. And this is another thing I messed up. I usually you can just like buffer jump on the way up here. I never like that input, though it's probably fine. It may be even better to just do that. But I waited to fall down, but because I was like nervous, I didn't fall down that much. And that resulted in me corner correcting early. Not too early so that I just bonk and die, but early. Early enough, in fact, that I almost didn't do it. I pressed jump on the last frame. Notice how I don't jump here. I jump on this frame. So, yeah, the timing of the second jump here can vary so much depending on, like, if you corner correct or early or don't corner correct. And it's awkward. So, I don't know, maybe it's better to just do that on the way up. And then make sure, again, you can't grab the block. You need to do this all on the way up. Which is hard. But just do the motion quick and early. Also, I don't press right here at all. Notice my directions, how they are neutral. That is because you can't neutral in this map. So the game does the right pressing for you. Why stress out over that? So yeah, basically I made a mistake here. Probably good to not do it like I do it. And just buffer jump on the way out. But maybe that's hard. I don't know. I haven't tried it. And then do that. You want to try to jump at the top here. But it is possible to... Oh, it's possible to do a lot. I think you can, like, grab Theo... Okay, I do a neutral climb jump here. Because you do start flashing red. And then I press right after grabbing Theo. But, like, I think you can bonk here if you do that by, like, dropping Theo too high or jumping too high. I don't really know. Basically, try to not drop Theo super early, I think. And then, yeah, there's that. And then this input, it might look hard. Doing a corner kick off of that, whoa, that's like a precise trajectory, right? But take another look. There's plenty of leniency. This part is very lenient because of that. And yeah, jump off of that. Go up here. So what I did first, clear, was neutral drop into right dash into this bumper so that it eliminated the freeze frame ungrab timing. But that adds more variance to your horizontal positioning, and I'm pretty sure it's bad because this left dash is like a 3F, and I think that can make it a 2F if you have bad positioning there sometimes. I don't know. This left dash is like a 3F. It's something. So left demo, throw it right, and then ultra. And now, oh boy, make sure to do good ultras. Technically, you can do a corner boost off of this door, but sometimes it disappears too fast. Sometimes you don't get a chance to get a plus 40 because it's not a corner boost block. So it's an inconsistent speed boost, I think, and it's not worth going for because, yeah. You can also... like left dash into this and carry more speed into the start of it and also have one more block to corner boost off of. But I didn't like that because I was generally able to get enough speed from it anyways, like every time. But it's not easy. Like what I did here is, if you listen, like it's fast spamming, for sure. Again, I'm holding my second jump button. It's just like the end of Agony, where I spam jump on my left and right hand. And you need to get enough speed out of these to make it. Also, make sure to aim to buffer jump off of the second corner piece block if you do my strat. Yeah, so the thing about this is that, like, if you look at my hand cam here, doing this under nerves is really hard. Because I, like, completely change my hand positioning. Like, look at my hands. Look at what I do. Like, I do that, and then I have to go back to normal gameplay in a split second. So not only, like, transitioning into that super fast mashing, which the risk of, like, accidentally releasing grab, that has happened in, like, practice. And actually a golden run. Yeah, right. So it's just so hard under nerves to either mess up. Like, it's so easy to either mess up during it or directly after it. That's what happened in my run. Also, when I was, like, learning this, okay, general tips for this. If you bind, like, 3 jump keys and you're mashing them, like, honestly, that's pretty bad. Like, you're not, you want to mash evenly so that your jumps are as evenly spaced as possible. So instead of doing, like, jump and then jumping on a consecutive frame, you jump and then, like, jump a couple frames later in, like, a pretty even pattern. You just want it to be even is the thing to give yourself the best chance. So, like, not like that's bad. Like, you know? And having just, like, a lot of jump keys and going like that, like, sometimes that'll fail. Like, I've seen someone do that and then complain that it's like, it's more about being even than being fast. It is also about being fast. But, like, you can't just bind, like, 4 jump buttons and spam them in, like, the least even way possible and expect it to work consistently. It won't. You will miss corner piece a lot. You want to spam evenly to make it consistent. I think when I was practicing this, I aimed for, like, 8 presses on both hands during this, but sometimes it was 7 if I couldn't go that fast, so, like, yeah, hold on. How many did I even do here? Yeah, I did 8 per hand. Okay, good. Yeah, so that's what I usually aim for. 8 presses per hand. And yeah. It was hard to, like, get myself to do this, to get the speed to do this. But again, at some point, just like the faster you climbs, just like everything, it became pretty natural. I recognize not everyone can spam that fast. Maybe, like, you can have 3 keys and try to spam them evenly too, like, something. It helps a lot to be fast, though, for sure. I think this section's really cool. You don't see stuff like this that much. And yeah, and the range of speeds that works is very lenient, like, you can't really be too fast. And then I'm gonna show you what I am supposed to do. Okay? I'm gonna show you the strat. You know? So normally, what I do is I grab Theo, and then I wall kick away. And then do an up left regrab. And then, the reason I don't just start with climb jumps instantly is because your height is, like, varied and weird. And you just want to, like, get away. Now here's the thing. Hypothetically, wait. Why don't I just... Oh, it's so I can dash whenever. Yeah, okay. So I do that to start. So it's... Because starting with climb jumps isn't good and can be scary sometimes. Especially because of the dash crystal freeze frames, which appear at different points. So I do 2 climb jumps to stall for the crystal. Then I neutral drop. And then I do another climb jump. And then 3 climb jumps. And then neutral drop. And then left dash into it, like that. That's the strat. That's what I do. I find it to be nice. But here's what I mentioned earlier, just being hard to transition back into regular gameplay after spamming fast as hell, and being shaky and nervous. Look at what happens in game. I throw Theo right and I open the display. Look at my inputs. Look at how I press like everything. Like, I press grab, and then my shaky, nervous ass releases and presses grab again, presses demo. The jump press is supposed to happen. And then releases grab, presses clear, which is not actually clear. I should actually maybe change it to be what my line is. That's the open subpixel display button. I press that twice. Like, it's chaos. My hand did not like this. It was not too fond of it. So I ended up throwing Theo there. And I kind of thought this had no chance of making it. I thought if Theo stayed up here, the play's probably like, you overlap the crystal, do a wall bounce, and then like try to up left into Theo and make it back to the wall. That would be hard. But I didn't want Theo to fall, because if Theo falls, he would just be under the spinners. Right? Well, no. Actually. There's like instead of this being all spinners, there's some blocks here. I guess you can sort of see, it's hard to see. But there's a layer of blocks here to reduce lag from amount of spinners. But the side effect that layer of blocks has is that it's a layer of blocks, right?
So like, what do I think is gonna happen?
It's a layer of blocks that Theo can land on, which I did not even think about or process at the time as a possibility.
Fucking minute. Oh.
But Theo's just bouncing on those. The way Theo bouncing works, by the way, I don't fully remember. I don't know. But, depending on his position, he either bounces left or right, right? I got pretty lucky to where he's just bouncing left and right consistently. It's not luck dependent, it is Theo position dependent. And maybe depth slash I'm actually terrified of the recording dying. Hold on, I'm gonna... No. I accidentally pressed stop recording. It's fine. I'm having a little bit of a moment. I just like had a thought, like, what if my computer crashes and I lose my file? So I was like, I'm gonna restart recording. And then I do that, and then I press space to unpause the video. But that stops recording again, so that's funny. But it's fine, I caught it. I'm recording. We're good. Basically, I'm lucky Theo is bouncing back and forth. We are happy. And I made the wrong decision here. What I should have done here, like objectively, was do what I do normally. Jump away, up left regrab, and then do 2 climb jumps. And yeah, you know, you saw it. But I chose to do climb jumps, and that resulted in me being low here and almost dying to the bottom spinners, but not. So that's cool. I did notice that in the run, and it was fucked up. But yeah. Then you throw Theo, like, wherever, I don't know. Fun fact, speaking of those lag reduction blocks. You can stand here. There are lots of saves relating to that. It goes hard. So this is, don't do any fast fall. Lines up with max height. You do want to make sure you... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Wait, hold on. Did I? What happened here? Oh yeah, okay. I just jumped as soon as I could have. Oh, that sucks. Wait, no. No, I jumped because it's... in fact, there's Stephen one thing delayed. I jumped on that C4. You want to make sure to buffer this down right. Because if you don't, there's a chance you grab Theo before you have landed your Gultra, and then he cancels your speed to 0, and you never land the Gultra because gravity doesn't apply on the ground. So don't do that. Make sure to buffer the down right. But if you do, everything should be fine. Also, make sure you're not jumping late on the Gultra, because that can happen too. And yeah. So do that. I throw Theo about at where these lines meet. Then do this. Grab him like pretty soon here. Drop lower rather than higher, because it is absolutely possible to be too slow here. This is like it's you have to go fast, but not that fast. Like, it feels really fast first playthrough, but it stops feeling fast the more and more you play it. This is again a buffer neutral jump. Quick little neutral drop, regrab, neutral drop, left dash. Then you up dash, release grab, and then start holding down whenever. I think you can hypothetically throw Theo here, but I think that's bad because sometimes you don't re-grab him. Though I saw someone like talk about that like it saved their life, so I don't know, dude. Maybe it works and is fine, but I prefer to neutral drop there. Plus, it's a more fun input anyways, so I do that. Then you do climbing. I have a visual cue for this dash, which I guess is like hardly a visual cue because it gets completely covered, but you see the right side of this block? Ooh, tinnitus. Ooh, my ear is going crazy. See the right side of this thing in the background? Decal. I wait for the block to fully cover that, and then I go. Except the fact that that's not visible, I guess I just envision it in my head. Then another, just like the end of room 9. Except I think this might be one block easier. I'm not sure. Then neutral drop. Okay, so this part's funny. This is another thing, very similar to the start of room 2, where there are different possibilities. Actually, hold on. First and foremost, when you exit a dream block and grab it, you get Coyote. See that? Coyote 5. If you're in Coyote, you don't uncrouch if you're moving downwards. Thus, if you start a down dash too quickly here, it will be crouched, and you will be crouched when you hit the bumper. And if you're crouched, this doesn't work because your hitbox is too small and you hit the dream block too late or not at all. So you want to wait a tiny bit on the dash. And basically, there's 3, I did air quotes, you can't see the air quotes, but I did air quotes. There's 3 possibilities you can get here. The leftmost, middle, or right frame. Right is the easiest, like for sure, because all you do is just an up smuggle, and you're already lined up in a good position. Although, don't move right any further, because you will, if you are going to enter a dream block the next frame, you just will. Like, you will do that before you grab Theo. So you need to be at least 4 pixels away from it. Right. But yeah, this is right simple. Right is simple and it's the fastest, which is good because there's time pressure. You can also end up directly in the middle. If that happens, what I said just comes into play. You can be too high to Theovator. So you wait a bit and then Theovator like as you start falling. But not too much, because if you wait too much, then you'll be too slow for this block. Yeah. Do that. And I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, this had a left hit, right? Leftmost frame. Yeah, so this is an example of how you save it if you're at the left. You just move right, and then smuggle through, and then move right more if necessary. Pretty much this middle line is how you know you're in the right spot, if you are at or past the middle line. It's really hard. And plus that's slow, so like you can see I barely made it here. That hit is hard. So the way I describe it, there's very clearly like, a better hit. But there's no way to get it consistent, right? Your positioning is basically random. No. This isn't even a thing that I intentionally learned or looked into, but I just gravitated naturally towards dashing on frames that resulted in a right hit. So, like, I generally dash around the same spot here, and if I hit it properly, then I get a good hit on this. And it's fine if I don't, because everything lives, but that can happen. Although, does everything live? Here's the secret fourth option. If you do... And I guess you can see, like, I did one frame of climbing down here, I think. Right? But basically, you can hit this, like, too low. I think it's, like, the bottom, like, 0.12 or something of it, where you get a secret fourth frame where you're further right, and this frame just dies. And I'm pretty sure this doesn't happen unless you climb down an awkward amount or dash at a weird time. You can also probably do like a max height down right here to guarantee a specific case, but that's scary to me, I don't know, because it takes longer, but it doesn't take like that much longer. Yeah, I don't know. There's research to be done here. I maybe should have done more research, but either way, I tried to downright at the same spot here, and then I went fast here. Also, make sure to press grab during the dream block. you know. And then you go through this, go through this, go through this, go through this. Go down through this. I actually died here once because I was just so fucking nervous. And then demo, jump, and then you've made it to the funny. So I've always lined up on this pixel. Literally every time this pixel. Why? I don't know. I just chose that pixel and became greatly attached to it and am now emotionally dependent on it. It's kind of a whole thing. But, yeah, it... From there, the block's movement kinda... It goes up, and then there's... That pixel is this last movement that it does. And you can just go there. Like, it's at its max height. You don't have to wait for it to do its finish animation. That is as high as it'll go. And I do that. Do a little smuggle here. Worth noting that ice on the ground makes you not regain your dash. So that's pretty bad. like if you accidentally do a down dash, oops, you are dead. And now here, for generally consistent height, I drop Theo, be sure to wait a bit so that the regrab timer isn't bad, and then up dash, and then grab Theo frame 1. Like, that is what I do for consistent height here. I also make sure to, or not make sure, but I try to fall a little bit. I try to be, like, not as high as possible. Because that's just, yeah. You're not going to be too high. Don't worry. And then is don't shake. So I just held left into this bumper and then do a grab release. And then from here on out, it's taps until the next section. There's like basically 3 sections of this where like you do rapid hits of bumpers, and then there's one long wait before a bumper, then more rapid hits, then one long wait, more rapid hits. So for section 1, it's just all taps. The further away from a bumper you tap, the less height you'll get, and that's good. You want to do that. You want to get less height because, like, this looks funny. This looks funny. I mean, that's awesome. But so like you can see, where do I press grab? Am I dumb? Huh? Oh, weird that it does that. But I press grab like here, you see. So my speed, my vertical speed is decreasing by 7.5 per frame, because that's the gravity during launch state. But after I grab Theo, my speed is increasing by... Oh. Why the fuck does it have slow fall? Does it just do that? Oh. Okay, it just does that. But it doesn't... Hold on. If I'm just... Wait, oh, this is weird. Oh, wait, oh, shit. Hold on. So, like... I think if you collide with this... No. Okay, I might just... I think I'm just insane. I don't know. But either way, the earlier you grab, the less height you have, which is what you want. You get less height, I guess because, like, it resets your speed later, or something. I don't know. It's not that important. Like, I've never, if I did the first frame regrab properly, I've literally never had this fail to being too high. Though it's made me uncomfortable sometimes, and I don't like it, and I like it to look cleaner. So that's why I try to do a bit earlier regrabs. And then it's bumper boost everything here, but don't bumper boost this one. It gives you more time to grab, and also it's just better for your height being lined up. Then I didn't bumper boost anything here, except for this right one. And remember, it's all taps for those. You're all just tapping grab. Look at my grab input. You just tap grab. There's no reason to hold it and do timings. But here, I time holding grab about here. That gets me over to a good spot with no right press. And then you aim to hit this bumper. Now this bumper is hard to hit. If you hit it too high, you die. So if you look in Physics Inspector, there's this little platform here, which crumble, jump through on touch. It's lenient. It makes it so that it's way easier to hit the bumper in the proper position. Here I would have hit it in the proper position anyways, which is kind of metal, kind of awesome, I think. But it helps a ton, that platform. And also, it means that you can be later than you think. So very useful to know that it's there. And yeah, just try to aim to hit it in the right spot, which is about your feet where the platform is. Although I guess you kind of want to aim to be lower. You want to aim to like be like in the middle of the frames that work for holding left, you know? Which would be slightly... It's like you aim lower on the bumper. But yeah, do that by just doing left taps to try to get good positioning. And time a grab release. Try to good. Then don't bumper boost that. Technically, you can... You do start slowing down like much faster once you transition in the normal state because you are, you know, holding away. Also, okay. Actually, never mind. Not okay. Never mind. What was I gonna say? I don't know. You just do it. If you grab earlier, you can be... Wait, would that even be lower? Would that be higher? I don't know. You do it. Don't bumper boost this one, but bumper boost those two. Press grab about at this decal. There is a little bit more of a right press after this, but Theo auto throws like pretty soon after that, so watch out. You fall, you can do like a neutral drop here, and then re-grab Theo at the bottom. I never liked that, but I did die here, so maybe you shouldn't take my word for it. And then, depending on the height you have here, you want to do different things to adjust your positioning. So, like, the first time I got here, I hit it way too high. Basically, okay, you can't really be too low. Like, if you're as low as possible, you just want to do taps, like, decently close to every bumper, though not, like, too close, it's fine, and you'll live. If you hit it, like, here, where I'm a bit higher than that, then you want to lose height. And the way to bleed height is by grabbing Theo early. Like, early enough so that you don't tap. You have to time a release. So, like, if you look here, I'm pretty high up. I grab here. And this lets me bleed quite a bit of height. Because if you look... Right, I remember now. Vertical... The gravity, normally, is like... During launch state, is like 7.5. But as soon as you grab Theo, the gravity doubles to 15. Which is major. That's really good for bleeding height. And also, again, you slow down more. So it's kind of all good. So yeah, you want to do that to bleed height. You can bleed height between these two, which should be all you need. But you can also do it between these two if for some reason you need to. So I did that, timer release, and then it's just taps from here on out. And then what I do is buffer right dash, release grab, and then down right. The way this works is it's just triggers. Like there's room transition triggers. This heart sets a flag, and then there's room transition triggers down here. And you want to, you know, get the flag set and then hit the triggers. So just right dash and then down right is what I do. I don't do the I don't do the down right. That was an early ass grab, by the way. Like, I feel like that was really close to throwing Theo. But kind of scuffed. I don't do it down right because it's possible to be too low, though you can control your height and, like, figure it out. And I don't just do a right dash because it's possible to hit the spinners. I'm pretty sure, unless you have insane height, which you should not, that right dash, down dash always works. Down right dash always works. Actually, right dash, down dash might work too. Maybe only for golden. Maybe no, probably don't do that. You know, that's kind of terrifying. Wait, does it? Hold on, are those dreams? It's not. I'm theorizing useless shit right now. But that's sumber. You know, I think I explained everything. I kind of did not have my mind straight at the start because I'm a fucking fag. Huh? I have to wait. I I just said a slur. It's fine. Uh, cause I'm a. I don't know, but I think I figured out how to say things properly next time. It's very cool. This cutscene is very cool. I assume it doesn't say GG Nins anymore. Hold on, I actually can check. Or maybe I'm not gonna check. I don't know. And then the thing, the fucking. The thing. This thing. Super cool. This I did not expect to have a whole room, dude. Yeah. So that's the golden. If I were to give general just like advice for this, it would be think. Nerves are brutal. Nerves are so brutal. Like my first Silver 2 had 13 abaddon, either deaths or entries, I don't remember. My golden had 22 abaddon entries. And I improved the abaddon greatly. But I wouldn't say I got unlucky at all. I would say that it is so fucking hard to nail basically just 4 really input dense complex rooms back to back. Like it is really fucking hard to do that on the nerves. Yeah, I don't know. Vroom, as general advice, I mean, I had 127 abaddon clears, and I got abaddon 4 times in a row. And I never really, like, focused on abaddon that much past the start. Like, I guess I, like, poured a bunch of time into abaddon. Like, I started by doing Silver 2, Silver 1, and then I poured a bunch of time into abaddon, and then did Silver 2, where I picked up Room 8 and 9 consistency. And then it's just, Silver 2 is good to do a lot. I don't know. I don't think I'm being too helpful. Stay calm. You know, it'll be okay. You got this. Is there anything else I want to say, or do I just want that to be it? That's probably it, right? I don't know any. I can't think of anything that I would want to say. Yeah. It was a very fun grind. I enjoyed my time. The fact that I had the 25-day break, which basically wasn't even my choice, was goofy as shit. And then I got it 5 hours after coming back, which is kind of just ridiculous. I was not playing good at abaddon. But I'm glad I have it. It feels good to be the first to do a golden as hard as this. And yeah, I don't know. A goodbye, I think. I think that's it. That took a while. Is this my longest... Hold on. Is this my longest explanation? I don't fully know how long this is. I think it was on the fucking old channel, right? Why the fuck am I at a 3rd result, bro? Wouldnt commentary is an hour 40? Dude, I've been going for so long! Hold on, how long's 71 the commentary? Wait. Sometimes the pages just don't load. I don't know why that is. Ah! Okay, this is quite long. I had a lot to talk about. It's fun to yap. Uh, yeah, I don't know. Thank you for watching. That was fun. Bye bye.